What are some of the types of things you mentioned? The mission is to save the wild turkey. What are some of the things that you guys do in terms of like cooperating with private landowners, maybe like some events and programming, or like on the education front? What does that look like?
Yeah, man. So at the moment, just to kind of stair step all this down, we're highly focused on private landowner cooperatives. Here in the eastern U.S., approximately 87% of all land is privately owned. And so, if we're going to really make a difference, research says if we're going to make a difference, we have to have more focus on private lands. And, we have some great state agencies in every state that's really responsible for managing wildlife, et cetera. Um, but they're having to put a lot of emphasis on public grounds. A lot of state agencies have private landowner biologists, which I think is great. I wish we had 10 times that everywhere. I think it's needed. And we're trying to fill that gap where there's a lack of help and assistance. And in any business, when you identify a problem and you can come up with a very measurable solution that solves the issues, then business is usually pretty doggone good. And so what we're trying to do is stand up these private landowner cooperatives where what we want to do is to try to address at least a 2,500 acre area. Okay. That's on average 2 to 4 square miles is your average home range for a turkey. 1,300 to 2,600 ish acres. Okay. So ideally, if we want to start really hitting it high, because we tell everyone like, oh, we're just going to do 50 acres here. 50 acres is good. 100 acres is better. But 2,500 acres now, hey, it's great. But the thing is, if we look at average landowner size, not everyone owns that much. And so we got to get people working together. I got to get my neighbor. I got to take a minute and be neighborly. I mean, we're talking about some like basic things in humanity, like let's go knock on your neighbor's door and get to know them, and let's talk to them and see what they're doing. All right, and let's start working together. And I think that is how we try to solve this problem, because we do have isolated pockets of decline. It's not like the population's going away tomorrow. In your state in Wisconsin, actually, we've seen record book harvest. It's in a much different place than a lot of the southeastern states. I have a lot of random ideas on why, but the upper Midwest is doing really well right now, which is fantastic. So enjoy the ride. And hope it lasts forever. But we want to I feel like we're in a retroactive approach in the Southeast. But what I want to see everywhere is we're all working together to be proactive so we don't ever have issues. And so things are very stable and or growing as needed. So we're trying to put information out, bringing people together um, to address that. Not only by doing that, with 2 or 3 landowners, but we're doing habitat field days where we're bringing landowners together to talk about, hey, if you want to manage for turkeys, come on out. We're going to do this. So some of our local flocks are like, hey, man, we'd love to have let's do it. We'll be there. We'll get some people there. We'll have a very good educational day on how we can best manage turkeys. And so the big 3 things that we talk about day to day under the private landowner cooperatives or on any land management is this important. The number 1 and 2 limiting factors for turkeys production is nesting and brood range habitat. And I think we talk about habitat. A lot of organizations do habitat, habitat, habitat. If we had to see a habitat, all would be great. True, but we don't. If you're a guy that hunts public ground, you can't exactly control that. If you're someone that leases ground, you can't exactly control that. So what can you do? Well, another great tool in the toolbox is maybe just a little bit of predator management.